You prisoner fans, let's get ready to.
Some of you non-fans that are here just to say hello to me and Dino.
Yes, there you go. Let's do the intro and then talk about the prisoner arrival. Yes, Dave. Come
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, it's getting crazier out there. But hey, everybody. Welcome to Late Late Horror Show. I'm Dino, as always, and that's number five, Dave.
Yeah,
Plouffe.
everyone's got a number.
He would never resign from the Late Late Horror Show. Would he? Maybe. I don't know. You're going to resign? Because if you do, you're going to end up on an island or something.
If it's an island, we don't know yet.
That's true. I don't know. There's a lot of good things about the prisoner,
Mostly
him being a prisoner, but there's a lot of downsides too, like freedom. But anyways, hey Dave, what's going
I
on?
don't know. Did you see that maid? I could live with that.
Well, you know what? Yeah, the maid, and then we'll talk about it. Anyways, how you doing, Dave? Good.
I couldn't complain. It's
No complaining.
It's been a good week. It's about 80 degrees here in Southern California, so we got your weather from last week now.
Oh, and now it's chilly here.
Oh.
It's like 50s, somewhere around there, and cloudy. So, anyways, I can't wait to see what you think of The Prisoner. I've only seen the first episode, and I loved it. I know you like Patrick McGowan and Columbo. I'm interested in to see what you think of this. But let me say hi to everybody. And you know what? I know there's just one season. There's not a lot of episodes, but man, is this something else. It's a sci-fi James Bond, intrigue, mystery, all kinds of weird stuff going on. And we'll talk about it, but let me say hi. Connie Clary, hello. Kimby. How you doing, Kimby? Ed Stathis, who sent me the painting, and I will show it next week. It's awesome. I like it. It looks good. It's colorful. It definitely would go nice back here. Oh my God, my poster's crooked. What's going on here? Oh, look at that, Dave. Much better. Good to see. Good to see you, Kimby. Duck Dodgers, The Prisoner was great. I was watching The Danger Man earlier. UFOs No Joke. WTF Horror and Sci-Fi. Spooky Bed here is here. Anonymous. Good to see you. Harry Scott. Hi, Boy Donuts to you. Did I miss anybody? No. WTF said earlier, what did he say? People I have not seen. Well, okay. I'm not going to look for it. I liked it for its sci-fi elements primarily. Something about this series was way too sophisticated for an American audience. I don't know. I mean, people were into a lot of. I mean, James Bond was just getting started, late 60s. Anyways, I'm shutting up. Dave, well, you got something to say. Go ahead.
I can't even keep up with the chat. The chat's like going crazy. It's just scrolling on my screen.
Oh, my God. Yeah, what the heck's going on here? Rad Dames, Phil Jones, what's going on? I've watched all 17 episodes numerous times. You guys are in for a treat. There's some really fun stuff in the show. No, it's been talked about forever. And I did watch the first one, and I love it. I mean, this is amazing. But now I got to see what Dave thinks of it. Hey, JP, love this show. Thank you. This show or the show we're about to talk about? Anyways, Dave, go ahead, man. Did you like this?
I'm glad there's only
no way
16 more episodes left. I thought there were some really good things. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. There are some things that I just what's up with the balloon?
That was very interesting. Didn't they call the big balloon or the bubble or whatever it was the artifact? Dave, do you not like it's the artifact? So many strange, bizarre things, even down to all of the instrument panels and telephone, every keypad. When they made the show, everything is like spy related, like code and everything else. Like it's just they thought of everything. I thought it was really cool. I can't believe you didn't like it.
There are some wonderful things in this. Don't get me wrong. Excuse me. IMDb rated this as an 8.4. Dave's down at about a 6.4.
Well, 6.4 ain't bad,
Right. It's not.
but I'm shocked.
I don't need to re-see this again, but I did enjoy certain parts of it, and I'll tell you the part I enjoyed the most.
Yeah,
the beginning sequence. I loved the
Yes.
sequence. And
Yeah.
I almost, that's the way I wanted to start this episode off, with me just, throwing stuff down and getting angry and yelling. It was kind of like that George Costanza thing.
Yes.
When he gets attacked by a bee and he's like that.
Running around, yeah. No, it's like a swinging 60s James Bond kind of feel in that opening sequence.
I was almost looking for a Peter Sellers.
Okay.
That's kind of how it felt.
Okay, Sin City Jim, what's going on? Let's see. The balloon is how you get punished when you do something wrong. Yes, we know that.
But where does the balloon take you? Are you absorbed by the balloon? Are you just suffocated? Does the balloon just beat the crap out of you? Because
no.
sometimes, like, your face is in the balloon, and other times, it's just bouncing on top of you, waiting for backup.
The Johnny Jukebox channel, what's going on? Hello, everyone. No, the balloon and the bicycle at the end of each episode had a different configuration on every episode.
With the bicycle?
It meant something. Well, think about it. We got to dive deep into the bicycle. The meaning of the bicycle.
I'm ready to dive whenever you are.
But the balloon, there's a point where some guy it looks like he gets sucked into the balloon.
That's what I thought was happening. Like it was going to be a prison.
Yeah.
And then it was going to bounce off to whatever.
Yeah. But later on, we see Patrick McEwen, who is number 6. On the entire island, he is number 6. So that was a little weird, unless number 6 passed away and that number's available. So
or got out.
Or got out. But the balloon hits him in the face and like pushes on. So it might have some kind of chemical like residue or something that knocks him out and puts him out. And I don't know. It's a series where it's making you think every single week, and there's little things that your mind can wander and say it's this or it's that. I mean, so far we've only seen one episode,
right?
But
I'm definitely interested in seeing episode number 2 through 16 through 17.
Okay.
I want to see how it goes. I want to see if he gets out. I want to see if they break him. I want to see who's in control, and why is there always a different number 2 in each episode? That's what I want to know. What happens to number 2?
Yes, exactly. That's a good point, Dave. If he's not doing his job, he's gone. They're pretty strict. There's a sign I love when he goes to the labor house or whatever, where it tells him, you see a sign on the wall, it says, questions are a burden to others. I loved that so much. That was so, but there's signs everywhere. It's just, you're just in this village and you're not getting out. Or does he? We'll find out. But number 2 gets flushed. Black Rosa says, huh? If you haven't seen Danger Man, Secret Agent Man, then you should watch it first, then The Prisoner. Is Duck Dodgers?
He did.
Tiger Man, what's up?
He did Danger Man, and there was one other which was like a previous series to that, all kind of spy related and James Bond like. And Patrick McGowan was going to be a James Bond as well.
And he looks as though he could have pulled it off. Definitely done a good job. Oh yeah. Hello, Andrea. And Iron Maiden had a song dedicated to The Prisoner. That's pretty cool. But yeah, let's get into this, Dave. I mean, opening sequence, swinging 60s James Bond. He's going to end up at the beginning of this, you see that he's resigning from the Secret Service.
Yes. And we don't know why he resigned. And that's kind of a big plot thing, is just, he woke up one day, wants to quit.
Yeah.
But I love it when he's chewing that person out. You see him going back and forth, and he's just, ripping him a new one.
I love that scene when he heads to the office to resign, like that opening sequence again. You get the music, all of that good stuff. And then he's coming down a long hallway. He's coming down a long, we're starting already, Dave. It's too early. Hallway until he gets that. And it's a la Get Smart.
That's exactly what I thought.
The phone booth goes down. He gets to the office. And I'm like going, I missed it by that much.
I looked in the cast credits, and there is going to be an 86.
Is there?
Okay. There is. I don't know what episode they're going to be in, but I'm like, oh my God, Agent 86 is going to be in there.
Wait, and Get Smart was late 60s, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, it's late 60s.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so right around the same time. Okay. Agent, was everybody, what going on? Was this a British series or was it produced here in the States? Good question. Why didn't I not look that up? Dave's going to look that up. But as he, I put him to work, the old gas in the keyhole. Ian Sharp, shush. Let us get to it.
Then there's not really, when you look at the outside door, there's not really a keyhole. If you rewatch the beginning.
Oh, Dave, come on.
Yeah.
Listen, the gas got in somehow. Okay, it got in through.
And on the outside, it's a solid door. And when you're on the inside of the apartment, there's glass in it.
Okay, I see. Dave did not like this, so he's going to tear it apart. I don't.
And then that, like Patrick McGowan has when he gets, definitely gets gas. It's like,
let me put it this way. I think that's what would happen, Dave. What are you talking about?
I don't get at least a struggle. I don't get a reaching for something. He just.
Some knockout gas will just knock you straight out.
I guess.
Have you ever been to the dentist and he goes, count back from 3, 3, and you're out. That's it. I mean, there's no struggle. You're not sitting there at the dentist going, no, don't do it. I don't want my teeth out. Stop.
And I will tell you this, my notes down was that he
hurt after my teeth.
Was that he got gassed by Jeremy Brett. I thought that guy looked just like Sherlock Holmes walking up to the door.
Oh my God. The guy you say Jeremy Brett, but I'm like, when I saw that scene when the guy was coming, after he resigned, number 6, and the guy came out, followed him to his house, and he injected the gas, and I'm like, oh, Abe Lincoln's going to gas him. He looked like Abe Lincoln to me. He got the top hat going on. I'm like this dude's a very sinister undercover agent here, and he don't look like it. And he looked like the small old guy that Benny Hill would always hit on the head. Yeah, but dressed up.
Very true. And taller.
and taller. But man, did I like that scene when he went down that hallway and he bitched out the guy. It was they really didn't say what he was saying.
Do you remember what it said on those opening doors when he went in?
That I don't know.
It said way out.
See, there's so many little things, Dave. This is a show where you can watch it over and over, which you're not going to do, and pick up new things every single time. Hey, Laura, what's going on? Good to see you.
Yeah, I will say I was never bored during that. During that 50 minutes. Like Tune the News says, there was a lot of running around. I'm not sure if it's they're talking about this episode or not, but it did. There was a lot of cutscenes, a lot of action. Okay, we're going to do this now. We're going to do that now. We have a meeting over here.
Well, yeah, a lot of point of view. This is the arrival. So he's running all around this village trying to figure out what the hell is going on and can he escape? So there's a lot of POV shots with a camera in 1968, 67. This aired June 1st, 1967. Where the camera isn't, it's going to be a little shaky. So if you meant that tune, I get it. There were parts where it was shaking. So I'm like going, boy, if this was really, yeah, it could get you a little, seasick. But yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he resigns. And I guess the whole point that you get at this beginning here, and yeah, hello, everybody. Captain Cleveland, what's going on? Cool show when it was released. Our show. Oh, it was ahead of its time. Yeah. Now we're used to seeing a lot of gadgets. Coolest part of music opening got to me a little bit as a kid in '87. Yes, well, I tell you what, I love the opening. I love the swinging '60s kind of music, intro music. But when we started to get to the rest of the episode, when they would put that music in, like when he's running around the village and stuff like that, it kind of didn't go with it. Kind of throws you off. It's like, that's not intrigue, mystery, adventure. Kind of, that was like, a couple, a party at a, frat house in 1967, swinging. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, so it's going to be hard to get to Dave today.
That's okay.
The other bad thing is Dave does hate sci-fi from the 50s, and I guess it carries over here into the 60s.
It was very close.
It wasn't very close. It was more adventure, though, and
it was, and Patrick McGowan is so cool and everything like that. So
okay,
yeah. But I even like the punch cards. The idea that it was so automated that you had a person pressing X on the typewriter, right? As the card's going through. And then it's like suctioned to that thing and it goes to the file cabinet and slides in. That was pretty neat.
Yeah. Like incorporating the old Dewey Decimal System. Is that what it was at the library?
Yeah.
With the cards. But man, when I go back, the school, my son's at still has that, but they don't use it. They use the computer, but the whole thing is still there. And I'm like, oh man, back in the day, they had to do that all by cards. But yes.
And I will
Archie Bunker, by the way, All in the Family. Remember the episode where Archie got a notice that he died and he had to go to the wherever you go for that. He's like, I'm not dead. And it's a punch card just like that. And he said, oh, we were one digit off. You know what I mean? Just reminded me of that. I don't know, because the card looked the same.
All right. And I'll look forward to your Sanford and Son reference later in the episode.
Okay.
Because we always do an All in the Family and a Sanford.
Or a Seinfeld.
Okay. Well, that's a given. And by the way, Captain Cleveland, let me just say 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yes, that's a line from for not liking it too much. I mean, it being okay. You certainly got the lines down, don't you?
Absolutely. I paid attention.
Dave does. Yeah. Well, he's a teacher. This is what he does. He jots down notes and everything else. So then he grades his students and gives them bad marks because they're not correct.
I never do that.
No, I'm just joking. Dave's very professional.
100%.
Yes. Anyways, go ahead. What were you going to say about? Were you going to say something, Dave? You were going to say something?
No, I think we're done with the.
Okay, so yeah, he was gassed.
Intro.
He's state. Yeah.
And he wakes up, and he's in Italy.
He's.
I mean, where did you think? What did that place remind you of? I'm like, it's either Italy or Portugal or.
It honestly reminded me of an English like Summerside Island or something like that, like from the Wicker Man. I mean, I almost got Wicker Man vibes to a point in some of these scenes.
All right.
Because of the countryside, the buildings. Because let me set the scene. They're on an island of sorts, a village that is. Go ahead.
I have a problem with it being an island, though.
I don't think it is, because he saw 2 maps and it says mountains, 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 but they're by the water,
right?
Which makes you think they're on an island. But they have patrol vehicles. They have all kinds of state-of-the-art science fiction devices that keep you from escaping. And they also got the artifact.
Hi, Kathy.
The main part of this show, that big giant white elastic bubble, like someone, world record bubble gum bubble,
Yeah.
something like that. Hey Kathy, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, you
I
love
actually, quite honestly, I liked the village. It was beautiful. Everything was green. There was artwork everywhere.
Yes.
The people scared me a little bit. They seemed to be,
a la Wicker Man. It seemed like a cult.
Yes, very much.
But I think it was just like a bunch of undercover people guarding, and then the whole plot around this. But yeah, no, you're right. The people made you feel a little uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, and I especially didn't care for the clothing. A lot of them were almost like Disneyland Main Street performers, waiting for them to break out into song.
That's why I said it reminded me a little bit like Wicker Man in some scenes, because you even got there's a funeral procession. There's a lot of like music, like marching, like playing music, marching band type stuff going on too. And you're like, I mean, honestly, even if it was 1967, I'm like, I don't think I would enjoy that. Maybe for a half hour for like but if this goes on every day, Dave, where the marching band's out in the street and the music's playing, I think that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, it might. There's also a boat that doesn't it's not in the water.
It's like built into the side of the island to look like you can jump on it and escape, but yeah, you can't.
They do have a taxi service.
Can I tell you how much I loved that little, what would you call it? That little panel or board with all the buttons to like, you press a button and it'll bring the taxi, which comes up real quick. It's like a golf cart. And then it had buttons for all kinds of other things.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the section right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
What exchange is this?
It was so good and so cool. Again, you could watch it. Oh,
it's Fun Palace, Hospital, Shop, Taxi. And then it says push and find out. And it's got like 60 different numbers.
Yes.
And then as soon as you press taxi, this Asian girl. Where the hell did the Asian girl come from? Pulls up.
I don't know. But
and then she starts speaking to him in French.
Well, I was going to say I'd keep calling the taxi lady over.
I would too.
Yeah, get to know her a little bit. But yeah, you don't know what's going to happen with all those other numbers. That was kind of weird and intriguing, but lots of really cool stuff all throughout these scenes.
And
go ahead.
I think one of the things I don't like is how fast the camera shot. Like when you're riding with the taxi goes like that.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of cut scenes. Like just in the taxi ride, there's about 10 different camera angles for about 5 seconds worth of film. So.
Well, that's pretty good filmmaking, though. I mean, if done right.
Yeah. I think the filmmaking is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Ha, ha, ha. Keep hitting buttons. Yeah. Well, unless you hit the wrong button and something bad happens. But yeah, no. And the overall theme of what's going on here really is he resigned from the Secret Service. He was gassed. They put him on at this place where, like in James Bond or what are the other shows like Jason Bourne and where you can't get out. Like
right. Once you're in, you're in. I
yeah.
Kind of put it to The Firm, John Grisham's The Firm.
Yes.
You are a member. You are not leaving here. At least you're not leaving alive.
Right, because over your career, you've accumulated so much information on so many different people that can't get out, and can ruin people's lives. And I mean, whatever, he's just got so much information in his head, which is what they say. They just want to be sure that, he's loyal, he's not going to feed this information to somebody else because they're like, I mean, you're still young yet. why would you resign? What was it, and again, him being real stern and being, that James Bond type character like he is in here, really, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I'm loyal. I just want out. That's it. That's done. I resigned. I'm allowed. And they're like, no, you're not.
Very true. And what did you think about, like, we're at the general store and there's like this book of maps.
Yes, I love that.
Did you ever see like literally a map come out of a book?
Yeah. I thought that was interesting how they did that. It's psychological, says Duck Dodgers. Yes. You've just scratched the surface. Yes, there's lots to go, I'm sure. What was this? Lots of beautiful women, says Redames. I can go for that. Gets involved with many of them. Oh, yeah. Look at that. James Bond. Yeah, see. The bookstore, or was it a bookstore? It was just a general store.
No,
but
the general store, and everything was perfect. I mean, like for me, it was like, oh man, having worked retail, it's like everything is perfect. Yeah, I mean, you had cut flowers, you had some products for the home, you had food, you had bread, and it's like, I know all that food is good. And then it's like, oh, where do I put the maps? Let me think. Oh yes, they're back here. And it's one of those stores that had everything.
Yes, and rad dames. We are all prisoners. Just don't get any deeper than that, please. It's okay, but yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. Let's just. But anyways, the store, yeah, it's. I looked at that store and I'm like, going, Dave, if I could have a store like that,
yes,
and just live out my life and sit back, away for a customer to get in. I mean, it just looks so nice to do.
It does. Even when you open the door and you've got the doorbell ringing, It's just, oh, customer, and it's kind of like, it reminded me a little bit of Lily Lasanka's store in Colombo.
Okay. Yeah.
Where she kind of lived in the back. And I'm sure this guy lived right next door. It's like, oh, you need some bread? I'll just run over, open the door for you, or just go ahead and take it, pay me back later.
Yes. And it's a throwback to an earlier time where the general store had just about everything, but to eke out a living enough to be comfortable and just sit there, and, the people come in and he says, I'll see you later. See you later. See you later. But that's the other thing, Dave. This episode, it kind of introduces you to the storyline, this plot of who are actually prisoners and who are actually people there working for this other, what should we call these people?
I don't know, but it's not I see you later.
The government, whatever, Secret Service.
I'll be seeing you.
I'll be seeing you.
That's
what he says.
That's the quote. And we hear that first from the female taxi cab driver. When he gets out.
Oh, it's a saying. That could be a key phrase or word that these workers that work for the Secret Service, or what, I don't even know what to call them. They're the British Secret Service that's keeping him there and not going to let him go. And I guess the prisoners who are there are the ones who resigned or whatever, and they're still trying to get stuff out of him. There's an older guy that sits and he's playing chess. And oh my God, we got so much to get into. There's an old folks home. Go on, Dave.
It reminded me a little bit of that last Art Bell episode we did about Area 51. And those people were calling up going, oh, I do cleanup,
Right, yes.
And that's kind of what these people are. It is interesting. It is, you wonder how many people were ex-CIA or M5, M7 agents or whatever.
Yes.
And it's you wonder who's running it. You wonder, is it the British government? Is it,
Yeah.
And they don't ask him for any information. There's nothing specifically.
Well, that's why I think he's there for life. I think they're, no matter what, they're not letting him go because.
But is it the British government, or is it the anti people that are trying to get information?
There you go. Yeah, it could be that too. Undercover, making you seem like it's Secret Service, wanting to be sure you're loyal, but yet they may be trying to get information out of you for their purposes. So yeah, I mean, it could be. It's too early. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I just seen
Thank you,
episode
Doug
1.
Dodgers.
Duck Dodgers, MI5.
Thank you.
Ian Sharp says those maps weren't big on detail. No, it said mountains.
It was very much a growing up in the 80s, we had, was it the plain white wrappers? You know, it was just like paper towels. You know, that was like the discounted brand. It didn't say anything. It was just like that. And that's exactly how that map was.
Yeah. Well, and again, later on, though, I tell you what, I think it is Secret Service. And they're just not letting him go because there's Bo. What's going on, Bo? Such a healthy, gleaming hair on Bo.
She just got brushed.
Good. That's a good thing. Otherwise, cat hair is everywhere. I think it is Secret Service because there's a gentleman that we'll talk about later on that's a friend of number 6 here. His name is Cobb. And we find out that he's undercover and he came back to help out with the purpose of...
But is he undercover?
Okay, we'll talk about that when we get to it. Let's start. Yeah. I don't know where we go from here.
Well, he's rushing around trying to meet people and stuff like that. And then he gets invited to his first meeting with like the head honcho.
Number 2, not number 1. Number 2.
Which always makes you wonder, where is number 1? Obviously, maybe outside. And then he's in this basically 1950s science fiction space capsule, and
comes up through the floor in that beautiful egg or not egg but round shape chair that you sit into. I want one of those.
That reminded me of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, I want one of those so bad, dude.
Where it just turns around. Maybe it reminded me of Mork and Mindy. I don't know.
That too, yeah.
But then like the chair comes up, the table comes up. How do you like your eggs? How many eggs do you want? 2. All right. How about some toast? Thank you.
Well, and the purpose of that was that they knew everything about him. Like they knew how many pieces of egg, bacon, toast, that they knew what he wanted. And he, they were playing kind of a mind game there. And I did think that was kind of cool too. So,
and then on the walls of the spaceship, they show all his pictures from being
a smart ass.
Hey man,
it's a spaceship.
It is a spaceship. Because you've got. I
don't know if you're making fun or not. Because go ahead. Okay.
You've got the metal doors that slide open. You've got the single ramp. You've got basically, and he's too lazy to get up and touch a thing. He's got this throwback from the Avengers, which is this helicopter. What is it? Umbrella. He uses the umbrella to touch the buttons.
Yes. And the only thing he was missing was a cat on his lap to pet.
Yes, I did write down it was a lot of these feel like James Bond type people, especially when we have the butler guy who's kind of on the shorter side and everything like that, and just very obedient. Yes.
It was Austin Powers, kind of the chair. I mean, like I said, he was just missing the cat on there. I was waiting for it, but no, I thought it was very, very cool how they did that. And, they're just, again, going back and forth, just saying, how loyal are you? Would you resign? Kind of that kind of stuff.
And not only is he a butler, he knows how to fly a helicopter as well. And the helicopter reminded me of MASH.
It reminded you of MASH.
It did. Just the helicopter coming in and landing, and it's got the 2
Well, I thought
floatables for water landing.
Yeah. Oh my God, I keep coughing.
Don't you have ginger ale?
Oh man, Dave, the heck? I got a tickle in my throat.
I got you.
I thought that the helicopter was not the thing to have. I'm like, okay.
It was weird.
It was weird because I'm like, okay, you're trying to make this escape proof. And even when he got in a helicopter, he couldn't get away. But why is there a helicopter? Why show the people that there's a helicopter? If somebody can fly a helicopter, I think there is a slim chance that something may happen that he can get away. But anyways,
Well, I was also thinking that, the helicopter could be like, look, we're dominating over you type of thing. We can see you from above as well as all the cameras around. And that there is a place that you could escape, and that there is a world outside of this little seaside villa.
yeah, I like that they showed that at the beginning.
I would have rather had a hot air balloon. Something like,
well,
was
that's
it
if this was a 2-hour movie.
a la Jules Verne, where you could just go up in the hot air balloon and then survey the area, rather than a helicopter.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, that I think that's a good idea. I would like the guy to have shown him around in a hot air balloon. That would have been a little bit more interesting. 17 episodes, so it fizzled out quick compared to. I don't think it matters that there's 17 episodes. If they're all good, I'm not sure why it didn't get picked up. But anyways,
From what I read, it was not profitable.
okay.
It just didn't make any money.
Okay, and maybe costing a little bit too much money to make and stuff like that. But damn, unbelievable. Listen, got the rest to watch, so who knows? Or just a thought, he got in the helicopter. Did he get in the helicopter, though? I don't know what that means, WTF.
I'm not sure either. But I actually enjoyed the original guy that's in charge of everything. I thought those particular actors were really well heeled actors. It wasn't like, this is my first time being an actor. Like you see that with the women in this episode. And when you research them, they don't have a whole lot of screen credits. But the men that are in charge here do have anywhere from 50 to 150 screen credits. And a lot of them do play in James Bond movies.
Interesting. Okay. So there you go. Same kind of, again, there's a lot of throwbacks. I don't know which started before the others, because again, there's bits of the Avengers in this, and which came first? Was it this or the Avengers? Avengers or same time?
The Avengers came first.
Okay. So the Avengers came first. I think they took some elements from the Avengers, and James Bond. I think the first film was right around this time, 68. But there was Ian Fleming's books too, so which were a lot earlier. But I don't know. Lots of different things. I also liked the idea of I was going to go a different direction. Okay, Dave, there's an old folks home. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I'm curious. Are these the prisoners who have stuck around for so long, or maybe just came in as older people and were stuck on the island and they're just fine there? I mean, because there is a lot of people on the island. I mean, not island, but in this area, the village. Let's call it the village.
All right, because it is the village.
Okay.
I think they have just spent their time there, and I absolutely love it. Because that is something that I would like to do. I mean, you get tired of working. We have Leisure World down the street here. And it's like, give me a double wide, give me an electric cart, and just let me go to potluck every Sunday.
Leisure World. That sounds good.
After I've been like a MI5 agent.
Leisure World. I think you're just talking about a nursing home, aren't you? They're very upscale. Is it called Leisure World?
It's called Leisure World.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And it's amazing.
Is it like it's a resort where you can like check in and just.
And they don't check out.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hot air balloon leaving at 7.
Totally.
It goes up 5,000 miles. What the hell? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. That's where you go. And it's actually right near Long Beach, Seal Beach area. And has a.
Have you been there, Dave?
Like, you're so tired, of working. I mean, imagine what would happen if you could just like, dude, I get to build Legos all day and, just not have to worry about anything. And you've got people around you and people can run errands for you. And It's just like, this is the life. I'm sure the food there is good as well. I'm sure they truck it in.
Have you? So you haven't been there? You haven't gone to Leisure World?
I was talking about the food there now.
Well, I'm talking about Leisure World. I want to know if you've been there.
I've driven by it several times. Yes.
I never stayed.
Never. Not yet.
Not
one day.
Okay.
I think I got 3 more years to 55. So.
Oh boy. Okay. Hey, Overkill with an O. I do think that's tricky of you. How many years have I known you now? 4 years? I don't know, Overkill with an O. And it took me a while to figure out, why can't I tag him? Why can't I tag? Oh, that O is really in number. Oh, I gave away a secret. Shoot. Sorry. Anyway.
He was maybe the original prisoner.
Where are we at? Where should we start off? Where should we start talking about now?
Well, he's gone on the helicopter ride.
Yeah.
All around the place. We got all these cool buildings. They all have official government purposes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he kind of drops them in front of the city square where there's a fountain. And all of a sudden, we see on top of this fountain a little balloon. And the guy who's running the place is all, everyone, stay still. And this balloon, all of a sudden, it jumps up on top of the building, and it's like 50 times as big.
Yeah.
And then it
starts to chase him.
Starts jumping after this one of the performers in a striped shirt, and he looked like he should have been in a 60s band.
Yeah. Well, I thought that. I think the big balloon is a very interesting part of the show. I think anybody who's going to watch the show is going to, I think, always remember that big bubble or ball or balloon, whatever you want to call it. Right? Am I wrong? I mean, it's very interesting.
It would be very difficult to forget it.
Yes, and I'm interested to see where it takes us in the future. If it's constantly following him around, or do they slowly forget about it? But yes, Overkill has been unmasked. Sorry. Paladin 2004, this series, Secret Agent Man was better. Haven't seen that, but you know what?
But isn't the balloon, when that guy is, he's got his face and his hands up against the plastic, isn't that also a horror movie poster for some movie?
Well, Freddy Krueger did it with like the wall where he brung his whole body out. I know that much. There probably is a poster.
I just thought it might be an inspiration for a future 80s horror movie. I can't remember which one it is.
Yes. No, it's in my head, but I do remember Freddy Krueger doing that. But as a poster, I can't remember. But you're probably right. I mean, it does. But when they do show that, it almost looks like he's inside the ball because he's kind of, so did it, envelop him and take him away? That's something I didn't know.
I don't know. And then everyone else just goes back to being normal. Like, hey, no big loss.
Yeah. It is almost like.
Oh, that's it, Ian Sharp. Yeah, the Body Snatchers.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
The poster? Okay. The Body Snatchers. Gotcha. Thank you, Ian Sharp.
Invasion of. Yes.
Poltergeist, Lost in Space, other shows used it. Okay. WTF horror and sci-fi. Okay, yeah. So I'm trying to think of where it takes him on a tour. Are we already here? Boy, we're going through this pretty quick, huh?
It depends. We're 45 minutes into our broadcast.
Oh yeah, that technically, yeah. It goes to the labor.
How are we doing on our thumbs up?
Oh yeah, let's give an update, and then we'll get back to talking about this crazy show that we're talking about here. We have 58 thumbs up. Not good enough. We'll never do The Prisoner again. We got to get at least to 79.
Let's do at least 79.
At least. Come on. Hit that thumbs up, people. check out the link below to go to Dave's channel and see Bo and Dave give a tour of the garden every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Lots of things blooming right now.
Yes, this is the right time of year to watch Dave's videos.
Have you started your Lego channel yet?
Listen, Dave, I'm stuck on this Rivendell set that's taken forever to build. I'm about 75% done, but yes, I'm going about it a little different. Like, I'm trying to transition to slow down here. I didn't all week, but yeah, and do other things. But so far, I'm filming, putting these things together, and then once the city starts to get built, I'm going to show the process. So there's going to be plenty of stuff there. Lego never stops building. Anyways, you know?
And questions are a burden to others.
Oh, my God. Well, Lego is one of the best investments on the planet. I mean, their profit margin is better than Louis Vuitton, the car companies. It's just unbelievable. Anyways, people make a living on it. They'll buy 5 of them, set 4 of them aside, build one, and then 4 of them will triple in value in either a couple years or a few years. So depending on if it gets retired. But yeah, no, it's crazy. I thumbs up this channel every time I see a live video. Thank you, Adam, for Christ. Much love to each and every one of you. A good detective stream tonight. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Always put together interesting shows.
And I enjoyed, if you haven't watched it, last night's UFO talk.
Yeah, listen, I changed it up really quick. That's how Dino does things. You know, sometimes I took down, what was it, Outer Limits again. I pushed it. Just not in the mood for talking about it, except with Dave, you know. But I just didn't feel in the mood for it. But I felt in the mood to start talking about this this big scrapbook on UFOs with small town articles and all kinds of interesting stuff. And what's the mystery is, I got this through Facebook Marketplace, and there's not a lot known about it, but you can tell as you go through it, it was somebody really deep, like the X-Files, going through these articles and looking through newspapers and putting them together. And it's freaking huge. I mean, if you've seen it, it's like the size of my torso. It's big. And there may be a story to be told within those articles and what he was trying to figure out, you know. I mean, we're still trying to figure it all out, but you know.
It kind of reminded me of, since we'll do our Seinfeld reference, a coffee table book on coffee tables. I mean, it's a big book.
It is a coffee table book about coffee tables, and it opens up and can be used as a coffee table. This is amazing. Okay, yeah, we veered off the prisoner, and everybody's leaving. See you guys. Thank you, Ed Stathis.
We can go back to the prisoner.
Yeah, let's get this going. So he tries to escape, and he ends up. Well, he has a friend. Well, first the maid. Man, see, we're not even going to get through this. There's too much to talk about. Go ahead.
There is.
Your hand. Talk about the maid, and then the woman that he.
All right. Can we first talk about the Tinker toy set that he destroyed?
Sure. The aptitude test. He goes back.
The aptitude test. Yeah. And then it's just like, you know, he gets pissed off. He dumps off this toy. Luckily, it's not one of Dino's Lego sets, because that really would have pissed him off.
Oh.
And then, like, the guy who's in charge, he's all like, I see we're going to have some problems with this one.
Yeah. He's not going to be like the others. This guy's a different story. And
yeah. So to me, that meant that, you know, this is something that takes place commonplace here. What do they do? Do they just drug him? Why don't they just drug him? You know?
Well, you got to make him.
Why are they putting him in an ideal situation?
Well, they're hoping that he will just obey and just take what, you know what I mean? Just take it. But he's not going to just take it laying down. So And if you drug them, I mean, then you got to just take care of via IV. Just get rid of them then in that case, which is the other thing. If he can't, if there's no leaving the Secret Service, if he can't leave and they put him on this, if he's so much trouble, why not just eliminate him? Eliminate number 6. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, maybe that's why there's only 17 episodes.
Okay, maybe episode 17 he dies. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. But he goes home and there's a maid there, which to me was like, this is amazing. And I think her name was Inga, but she goes by the number 66.
Oh, Inga the maid. Okay, Dave, go ahead.
And the cool thing about it, and I found this ironic, is that a lot of the artwork in the home are world maps.
Yes, and Alanis Morissette also found it very ironic.
True.
Yeah.
And there's lava lamps.
That was one of the only things that annoyed me in the whole episode is why did they think lava lamps looked space age or sci-fi?
Because they were brand new in 1967.
I know, but it kind of annoyed me. I'm like, every time I looked at a lava lamp, I'm like going, oh my God, that didn't hold up well for sci-fi in the future.
No, it did not. And one of the things I absolutely loved is, he's checking out his place, right? And he goes into the kitchen and he opens up some cabinets. What?
It was a pretty nice apartment there.
Hey, I would take it. I love the retro furniture, that one lamp that came out over your reading table. I didn't care for the music, which neither did he because he destroyed the speaker.
Right.
And then as soon as he destroyed it, you just hear this electrical needed in
number 6.
Number 6 little journal thing.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were talking about something in the apartment that you didn't like?
No, it's something I found funny was he starts opening up the kitchen kitchen cabinets, which, by the way, fully stocked. He's got pots and pans and everything looked really great. But there was a cabinet of dry goods or canned goods, and it was labeled like spaghetti. And he picks it up and he listens to it. Why does he do that?
Well, I thought he shook it to see if there was something in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, let's make sure this is real food too. You know what I mean?
All right.
Because everything in that apartment really, and he went room to room. Man, the shower, the bathroom looked great, but what was real, what wasn't, was fake. And you know that everything had a camera too and stuff. I mean, so you really couldn't be comfortable there. It's like that Twilight Zone where you're living in a zoo, and everybody's going to come and watch it. Yeah, it's like, you just can't do it. Nose picks, whatever happens, I don't know.
All right.
Pants pick, you get some of those sometimes too, in a hot day.
I thought it was just a water pick.
Or a water pick, yeah. He regifted. Dang it.
But he, he like
shakes. Hey, Casey. How you doing? Or Cassie, I think it is.
It is Cassie, yes.
Yes. Cassie Koski. Good to see you, Cassie. Welcome. Black Roses says, bugged. That is the exact word I was looking for. That's what Dave was watching this episode. He was bugged.
Yes. So we do know that his whole room is set up with cameras.
Yeah.
We know that not the waitress, not the nurse, the housekeeper.
Yeah, the maid.
Inga. She's mic'd. There's video on her. We go back to the spaceship where number 2 is now like with some bald guy, and there's star constellations on the dome, and there's these 2 guys on like this teeter-totter thing that are just like circulating, looking into these cameras.
Yeah, it was very cool, I thought. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, it's the captain's deck, whatever you want to call it. It's where everything goes on. It's where they keep an eye on everybody and make sure nobody escapes and stuff. It's going to
I
drive
guess so.
Dave nuts, Dino. What,
But
the prisoner?
that's fine. That's fine. It's not a short ride either. Um,
Yeah. He made me sit through Ashes to Ashes.
I did not make you sit through
That
that.
was unfair of
It
you.
was not unfair. It was a great episode.
Can't believe that you did that to me. I can't believe they did that. Anyways, okay,
But
so yeah,
looking at his apartment, it's very international. I mean, you have, as I mentioned, the worldwide maps, but you look at the lamp, and the lamp is like, Fu Manchu carved underneath it. You've got an exotic animal hide on the ground in front of the fireplace. You've got a European landscape painting above the fire. You've got Greek columns, pictures of those. It's a very international type of apartment, and I absolutely loved it.
and I think they did that just to throw you off for where this could be. Like it could be anywhere. Let's put a little bit of everything in there, and it's its own place. He has no idea where he's at. So I think that's what was going on.
I did not like the electronic repairman, though.
No, and I didn't care much for the radio. First of all, music beaming in apartments with basically it's just a box and it's not coming from the box. Where's it coming from, Dave?
I don't know.
Prisoner put you to sleep?
I'm okay. I don't like the repairman.
Did you get your coffee?
I think I don't.
Did you get your coffee today?
Not yet.
Oh no, that's what's going on.
I think I don't like the circus tent vibes from all the stripe stuff on the carts.
That's what you're going to bring up?
Yes.
The taxi? The stripe?
The taxi and the electronic repairman vehicle. Because the electronic repairman vehicle is like a taxi, but then it's got like a little like carrier thing behind it.
Maybe a solid roof to the carts, maybe would have been a little bit better, but on those stripes.
It was the fastest.
Okay, listen, I know it's an hour.
Union.
You're right. I get it. You don't like stripes. In the 60s, they wore striped pants a lot, especially the British. Bell-bottom striped pants.
Yes, they did.
Yes, and I loved them. They were real, like, low hip, and tight in the buttocks is what they were.
Did you like the self-opening doors?
Those were interesting. Yeah, like when you go in the grocery store and it just opens.
Well, when this guy leaves his apartment, he's all, I'm going to go out for a walk. And as soon as he says that, the door opens. Like he read his mind, or it was like voice activated.
Again, we don't know yet, but it is the sci-fi. Yeah, is there some AI kind of opening doors for him? Or are they keeping an eye on him so much that every word he says, around the clock, they got somebody observing it and they just open a door for him, you know what I mean? To let him know that we're watching, you know what I mean? So it could be any of those, but yeah, half hour. Let's see. Okay. So the maid breaks down, cries. She goes, they made me do it because she's a plant. So she breaks down and cries and says they made me do this. I watch you. I got to keep an eye on you, learn a little bit, get close to you. He should have said, oh, maybe use that information just for the first 24 hours and then said, get out of here. But no, I'm joking. That's awful rude of me. But she breaks down, she leaves, and then all of a sudden he's going to, he meets, he tries to escape. Yeah, that's where we are at. Yeah,
that's his first escape attempt.
Yes. So he's running all around the village. These police cars are coming by, but then he makes it to the sand that's by the water.
Well, not yet. No.
Okay.
That's the second escape attempt. The first one is up a hill near his home, and he goes through some shrubbery, and then there's like this pathway through the trees, and then there's all these sculptures, and the sculptures, it's like a real Sid and Marty Krofft type of thing where the sculptures are moving.
Yeah, and they got green eyes.
And got the eyes. Yeah. And then he sees the dreaded balloon. Yeah. And he starts running away from the balloon. running back the way he came. So it was a very quick, very foiled escape attempt.
Yes, yes. Listen, don't just think, that balloon was scary, Dave. If it was chasing me, man, and it bumped at me, like,
Okay.
and I knew I could die or something, no, I'm scared.
Here's an idea. Do you have a pin? Do you have a pair of scissors? Something that can pop the balloon? Did anyone think of that? No. Let's just let the balloon attack us. Oh, God. So
that's a good point. I give you that.
Thank you. So then he finally, goes around those little Portugal type of.
Oh, wait a second. There is a little tag underneath that balloon as it's bouncing. You do see under there, cannot be punctured, or yeah. Okay, go on, Dave. It's hard elastic. You can't cut it or poke it.
Yes. So then he makes his way through the village again and out, and this time he's on the coast, but it's weird because we don't really see any water, and this is where the electric carts are after him, the balloon's after him, and
they're supposed to be like police. They're like, didn't even mention police.
I don't know.
But it was a siren. They were, woo, woo.
But I mean, this beach had so much sand.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was
dry
like
desert.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. And he basically punched the first guy out and punched the second guy out.
It's awesome. And first time we have some fisticuffs.
Yeah. Yeah, bust him back here. Yeah,
but then here comes the balloon.
Yeah, that's the fisticuffs. And then the balloon comes in front of the vehicle and he tries to ram it, but then he falls out of the vehicle.
The balloon doesn't pop.
Again, it's you can't break it. But then it goes up to him and his face just smashes into it and it knocks him out. And then next thing he's in a hospital and he wakes up and there's an old woman rocking in the chair. I mean, it's always a comforting sight, right, Dave?
I don't know if I would be comforted.
Really? You think
I would wake up and I'd go, I thought I was tucked.
Well, see, they don't like, on this village, they don't like the tuck. They like the untuck.
Okay.
Because his feet, as he's laying, they cramp up because if you tuck in and you make the sheets too tight, your feet can't come up. Thus, it gives you a cramp in your feet, Yeah. Anyways.
And he's also in pajamas. So then they've obviously changed him.
Oh, yeah. They burned his clothes. I mean, I think that was ridiculous. That guy paid a good penny for some of that stuff.
And we got Cobb in the next bed.
Yes, we find out Cobb, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh, wow!" And he goes over there and he starts to talk to him. And Cobb,
did he know Cobb previously, or was this the first time they ever met?
Well, I think Cobb was a Secret Service agent.
He was.
We find that out, and he worked with them in the past, so he's part of the same Secret Service. But for some reason, they brung him there. And I kind of don't get it. Was it a coincidence that he shouldn't have seen him there because something happened? They say over the speaker, amnesia victim awake or something like, or jumped out the window, right? Yeah. But it's Cobb, it's his friend, and he's gone. He was basically going to break out of there because we meet this other woman who. Do they say her name? Is she number 13, 15?
No, she is known in the credits as the woman.
That's ridiculous. She's the woman?
Yep.
Okay, so is she going to appear in the other episodes, I hope?
Nope.
No? Wow, so she's done and gone. Okay, so she's there to...
Well, she didn't get the job done.
That's true, so who knows what happened to her. I don't know. But Cobb and her... She was trying to get him out of there with some watch that deactivates the controls on the helicopter to let him escape. But Cobb jumped out the window to kill himself, but he really didn't kill himself. He's really alive.
Yes, but it is totally allegedly jumped out the window. Yeah. So he thinks like someone threw him out the window is the vibe I got.
Right, Black Roses? I mean, come on. Yeah, she should have at least had a number like 69 or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, say.
But he's got a dressing room.
Oh, yeah, woman.
Patrick McGowan now has a dressing gown, and they're walking him through again to the laboratory, and we've got another lava lamp.
Well, they're walking through the hospital area, and there's like this red hallway where people are sitting in there with glasses on and all in white robes, and he goes, "That's the therapy room for the people who need to," And then there's this wacky guy who's walking around the building, and then when he comes back out of the office, he looks in there, and there's the bald guy at the very end of the hall with a water fountain shooting a little ball up on the top, just laughing, and it was a la Clockwork Orange or something, just way out there, weird.
It was really disturbing.
I like it. Oh yeah, I did. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, whatever number, but she shouldn't have been called that. She should have been called Agent Zero. You know what I mean? Something like that. 69 just came to my head first. What does that say to me? Let me take a test with the psychologist. Psychologist or psychiatrist? Either or?
I think one makes more money than the other.
Yes, they do, and can prescribe, things and stuff. Yeah. One can't, one can. How about therapist? Therapist, same thing?
I guess.
Different credentials, maybe?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
But that is a weird scene. He looks in there and he sees that guy and then he goes out. But yeah.
And again, it's one of those things where it's just like it pans in and then it zooms in a little bit too quick for me. And then it zooms out and it's just very creepy, very 60s.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Barbara Feldon from Get Smart was originally named Agent 69, but they could not get it past the censors. Really? 69 is just a number? But I get it. Get Smart had to use Agent 86 because that number was too much for the time. For the time, I mean, has that gone? Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. This was something else. But yeah, what happens next? He gets out of the hospital.
He gets his credentials.
Yes. And he takes them off, throws them in the back seat. The straw hat. Do you like the straw hat?
Hated the straw hat.
Oh, God.
Again, like Disneyland.
You could have done a barber shop quartet or something like that and sang a tune. And he could have danced his way out of the village. You got a nice breeze going on there with I can see the wind blowing the curtain.
It's 6 o'clock here. We're getting our evening breeze.
Yeah, right off the ocean, right from the Pacific, right?
Yeah, another 35 miles of breeze. Yep.
Wow, nice. Yeah, no, you get a good breeze from the ocean there. You ever smell it? The salt?
That's why people come home and take showers when they go to the beach.
You keep throwing out all these Seinfeld references. Listen, I have a great idea for a cologne. You come home after a long day at the beach. Everybody wants to smell like that, right, Dave? I mean, so, right? Am I wrong? And the guy goes, no, people come home and take showers after coming home from the beach. They don't want to. Anyways, whatever.
And then later it's like, hey, buddy, I got someone to make that cologne.
Yes, he stole the idea from
someone
Kramer.
to make that junk?
Oh, my God. Oh, chat's dead. Chat's dead. Let's hope it wakes up. Let me do a count on thumbs up. 69. Oh, what? No way. The exact thumbs up is 69. Agent 69. Holy Moses. Check it for yourself if you don't believe me. What a quinky dink. Unreal. How the world just revolves and yeah. Well, Art Bell never believed in coincidences.
He didn't.
No.
What did he believe
I
in?
believe there are big coincidences and little coincidences.
All right.
George didn't believe so, though. They're just coincidences. There's no big coincidence or small coincidence.
George believed that if you believed it, it was the truth.
Exactly. Okay, so, where do we go?
Now, I will say the hospital did look really great when they were driving away from it. It was like this huge, like gothic, manor from Dark Shadows.
Yes. And this is where we're going to. He actually gets out of the cart and he sees that there's a funeral procession, and it's from Cobb.
Not quite yet.
Oh God!
But we are.
We could have gotten there, Dave. Go ahead.
But we are running up against time, so he actually pulls the emergency brake on the cart and runs up the hill to the original place where number 2 is giving out his talks.
Yeah.
And it's a different guy that's there. What happened to the original guy? He's not here anymore. So you wonder what happened to him.
Yeah, whether he didn't do his job good enough and they switched, people, you know what I mean? I don't know. They really didn't. You just have to assume that he wasn't doing his job and they put somebody else there. Or that guy went on to do something else.
Yeah, time served.
Yeah, and somebody else came in. And I think you were talking about every episode it's going to be a different number 2.
That's what it looks like. So
now we're number 2.
Procession. We're at
it's a different number 2 every week. Yeah, it depends on what you eat. Salad, soups, baby food. Oh, geez, don't go that route.
Might be different. 69 too.
Okay.
Anyway, now we're at the funeral procession.
Yes, we are. And we see the marching band coming. I don't even think the music really went with it. It was like
It didn't. That was weird. And they buried him on the beach, which is not only not good, it's unsanitary.
Right. And it would eventually, yeah.
Then we meet Virginia Maxwell is her name.
Yes. And I wasn't sure what to think of her. I mean,
I know exactly what to think of her.
Well, in the outfit, she she was all right, but.
And there's I think we know she's maybe a spy because her bicycle doesn't have a number.
Yes. And she does work for, we do find out. Well, first he sees her and he sees her run away crying. So
right.
That's a way of getting close. So you were close with Cobb. So they may have made this story up. So she may not have really been trying to get Cobb out of there. Maybe Cobb was Cobb is working for the secret surface there on the village, and she evidently was too.
Yeah, and of course we know Cobb's not dead because we're going to see him later, but she doesn't know he's not dead.
Yes. Who invented the Cobb salad? Do you know?
Kenny Rogers.
That's Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Oh, that's right.
But the Cobb salad. Anyways, it's watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's a whole episode on the Cobb salad.
All right.
Some guy took it. I think it was invented the Cobb salad at a Brown Derby. I think somewhere in the 50s. From the chef, and anyways, Bob Cobb. So, God, we're just something else today.
No wonder we're not going to get to the end of this episode.
We're getting there. So he's getting close to this woman real quick because she's really pouring the emotion and it's kind of connecting. So they're kind of starting to fool him a little bit there, Dave.
I think so. And she's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think that helps too. Listen, the maid was nothing to just say, go get out of here.
Correct. But he did do that.
He did do that, yeah. But I think it was a little too early for her to approach him. Duck Dodgers is 1937. Robert Howard Cobb. Thank you very much, Duck Dodgers.
Who needs Ed Stewart?
Oh, geez. We all need Edward Stewart. Come on. We love you, Ed.
He's usually our fact person.
Yeah. Where are you, Ed? Where are you? So she's giving him this watch that deactivates the helicopter. He's going to try to escape. But it's not going to work because those two guys on the teeter-totter in that room, they're able to control it via a controller in that room. So he's like trying to move it and he can't because they are, thus making him land again. And take it away, Dave. What's going on?
That's all I remember. It's just like, he's flying, and then it's like he's trying to escape, but then it's like, oh, he realizes, I think at the end it is a trap.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to, move the controllers over. He does get a pretty good view of everything, though, which is kind of cool. And then I think she's also a little upset that she double-crossed him,
Yeah. Well,
but what was
I'm not
poignant,
sure she meant it, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what was poignant was the scene after where she sits across from the old guy playing chess.
At the end she sat across from him playing? Oh, yes.
Yeah, and she says, like, oh, I don't know how to play and everything, and he goes, you should. He goes, and something along the lines of, we're all prisoners here in our own way. And I thought that was a really good episode, because the guy who was the chess guy, who we see in several portions of this episode, it's not like it's like, is he with it? Does he have dementia? I got that kind of a vibe. Like, all he did was play chess, and that's all he knew how to do.
Yeah, and when number 2 walked by him earlier, he goes, I hope he'll get somebody to play with him, is what he says.
Yeah, and I think he also said he was like this big guy in the government at one time. And to me, if he was, why didn't Patrick McGoohan recognize him?
Yeah, true. In future episode, you find out that the balloon is bulletproof. Very interesting. Okay, so there you go, Dave. I mean,
does the balloon ever die, though? But I guess we'll find out.
Well, it's the artifact, so I think there's more to it. I wonder if it can read minds.
Maybe.
Or if it's controlled by the people in that room on the teeter-totter. That's what I'd like to know. True. But yeah,
and so, I mean, basically the helicopter lands back down, and he's kind of like, oh, and the balloon's there, and the balloon kind of walks him up to.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting how they did that. It followed him.
You know what? I did kind of like that.
Yeah.
And then
a shot back to the inner workings, and Cobb in his suit getting ready to go off on a mission.
Yeah.
So he's out of there.
Yep.
So I guess he just did what he did, and then he's gone. Hopefully that helps. But he does tell him, number 2, he tells him he's going to be a hard one. So he does tell him that, so. And then we get the old outro, and you get a close-up of his face, and he's, can't wait for the next one. I know Dave can't.
I'll look forward to it.
But yeah, no, I really enjoy this series. I like everything about it. I can't wait for the next one for me, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on you, Dave. We'll give it another shot for sure. But we got Kolchak next week.
Perfect. Mr. Ring.
Mr. Ring. What's that about?
I was just going to ask you.
Mr. Ring has to do something with a ring, I'm sure.
And I didn't know if it was Ring or RING, how to pronounce that.
Oh, I do know that it deals with a robot in some kind of blue like felt outfit or something. It looked really weird. I don't know, but yeah.
All right, hold on.
Denny Regrade, what's going on? Hi, everyone. Good to see you.
Episode 12.
Wow. How many more we got to go, Dave?
Only 8 after this.
Wow. Okay. We're getting through.
All right. Carl Kolchak can't determine the exact cause of death for a man he's writing the obituary on. Kolchak's investigation into the man's mysterious demise uncovers a secret experiment called Project Ring, RING, which is developing an artificially intelligent robot that might also be dangerously homicidal.
Huh. It's about tinnitus, says WTF. What? Okay. Okay, so yeah, I mean, sounds interesting. I don't know. All the Kolchaks are all right, so we shall see. A robot becoming sentient, Black Roses says. Okay, sounds good. And then me and Dave, the next following week, going to do another Art Bell. Haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
We're going to talk ghost stories from 1990. Oh, I'm hiccuping. From 1999. Very professional of me, Dave.
That's okay.
This channel is far from professional.
I don't think you could get further
any
away.
more unprofessional as we do. Listen, anyways. So we're going to do that.
69 steps away from being professional.
Right. And then we're going to do Wild Wild West and then another Columbo in that order. So we got plenty lined up. That's the lineup. Let's see how many thumbs up before we go here. It's still stuck at 69. People don't want it to not change. That's funny. Thanks for covering this bizarre yet sophisticated TV show. I don't even think it's maybe I'm bizarre.
I do.
You thought it was bizarre, huh?
I think bizarre is a good term for it.
Huh. Okay. Listen. Maybe I've just watched a lot of bizarre stuff, but I mean, Eraserhead's bizarre. But you never seen that either, Dave, huh? Oh God.
I haven't even seen The Wicker Man.
You haven't seen The Wicker Man? Dave, you have got to see The Wicker Man. Oh, Lord.
I banned myself from the channel.
Yeah. Listen.
Yes.
The Wicker Man is a movie you need to see.
Did you and Ted cover it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You have got to see The Wicker Man. Best folk horror movie ever. I mean, yeah. And maybe one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's up there, top 10 at least. So that's saying something. So there you go. Again, you guys, detective shows tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. It was really
what?
Oh, Connie's going, what? How could you not see that?
I mean, Bo's even seen it.
Who? Bo hasn't even? Oh boy. That's saying something. Eraserhead is awesome. Listen, Eraserhead is from the mind of David Lynch, and it is very bizarre, but it's so bizarre that you have to watch it and go, and for the rest of your life, try to figure out and think, wow.
It's going to mess me up for the rest of my life.
What? No, it's when you got time to sit there and just think, about Eraserhead, because it's just so melancholy.
When I'm at Leisure World.
Leisure World. I got to look this place up. Oh my God. I got to go Google map it. Am I going to see a bunch of old people out back and then
hold on? I'm going to send it to you.
A picture or just a link?
No, I'm going to send you a link.
Okay, good. Is it the 70s version? Okay, let me bring this link up that Dave just sent me. Leisure World.
And it's totally like The Prisoner. Join our community, it says. Yeah.
You plan the schedule. Oh, they even allow you to do that. Oh, these pictures are priceless. It's all about you. You make the menu too. Wow. You live the dream. Oh, Dave, these pictures. Yeah, this is The Prisoner. Oh, boy. You can even dance in a cowboy outfit. You call it home. That's what they were saying in A Prisoner. Home is home. Anyways, okay, let's end this thing.
Please.
Any last words? What something say, Dave?